Yo guys, what is going on? JPS back for another video, and today we are here with Jay Foreman, Mapmen, Where is America? As you know, I'm a huge fan of Jay Foreman, and this is going to be the beginning of his little Mapmen series. And of course, when it comes to, America, we got to watch it. So make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, check out my Patreon, link is in the description. And let's get right into it.
America.
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 Americas.
Americans.
Americanos.
American.
That is true.
Merry-go-round.
Amerigo Vespucci.
And Italian.
Welcome to Mapmen.
It's everything.
Men.
Like,
Here's the map.
The United States of America is a 5-word country.
States, United, the, and of are all self-explanatory, but the America part makes a lot less sense than you might think.
As we all know, America was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1492.
And discovered is the right word because there definitely weren't people living there already.
And it was definitely him who discovered it, not the Chinese in
Facts.
1421 or the Vikings around the year 1000.
The China theory is heavily debated.
And it was definitely the United States of America he discovered in 1492, not some Caribbean islands.
Good to be clear.
But although Columbus had reached a new world, he never reached the realization he'd reached it.
He'd set out in search of an alternative route to the spices of the East Indies and wrongly thought he'd found one.
And so he named the Caribbean islands the West Indies because he'd sailed west to find them. Which is weird because if he thought about it and he had actually gone around the world and hit the East Indies, he'd have hit them on the east side, so he probably should have called them the East Indies. So if he had been right, the West Indies would today be on the eastern side of the Indies, which is ridiculous.
But Columbus wasn't the only European who'd had a 15th century midlife crisis that involved buying a massive boat and sailing west until he'd come to terms with his own mortality.
Just 1 year after Columbus first reached the South American mainland, Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci got there second.
But the crucial difference between Vespucci and Chris, as people in the voyaging business referred to him, is Vespucci did know he'd reached a brand new continent, and word soon spread of an exciting new world.
Hear ye, hear ye! There's a brand new continent we knew nothing about until now, full of gold and spices!
Oh, that's so
Exciting new
weird.
world.
Mapmakers around the world set to work creating new and up-to-date world maps, each with their own dreadful renderings of the increasingly but still not very discovered continent.
One of these mapmakers was a German called Martin Waldseemüller, who in 1507 had all but finished his magnificent new world map. Except for one small detail: what to name the new continent everyone was talking about.
He very likely would have named it Columbia, after the widely agreed discoverer of the New World, Columbus. But Amerigo Vespucci had some very clever PR people who were falsifying documents and spreading lies about exactly when he'd reached the New World.
And these lies must have reached the ears of Martin Waldseemüller.
You're listening to the Vespucci Hour on Explorer FM.
Amerigo, he got there first.
Because he made the fateful decision to label the new continent America.
Latin for Amerigo.
Waldseemüller published his map complete with an unnecessarily long Latin title.
Complete map following of Ptolemy, the tradition, and of Amerigo Vespucci, of others, also the illustrations.
If you zoom into his map and look carefully, you can see the little word America in what we now call modern-day Brazil. It was the first time that made-up word had been used anywhere by anyone ever.
Nobody knows why Martin named it after Amerigo's fairly common first name rather than the Vespucci part. It's a bit like if I discovered a continent and they named it Markland instead of the more enticing sounding Cooper World Jonesania.
One part of the New World that Martin clearly didn't give much thought to was this bit up here, which he drew super small and super inaccurate.
So it may surprise you to learn the inhabitants of this area were the people who, centuries later, cared the most about this map.
Fast forward 500 years to the 90s. Throughout the 90s, the United States tried desperately to get their hands on Waldseemüller's map.
Because it contained the first use of the word America, the US considered it to be their birth certificate, not minding that it had actually been given to a different baby since they had no qualms about swapping babies even though they were now grown adults.
At the time, Waldseemüller's map was sitting in a drawer in the private collection of Prince Johannes zu Walburg-Wolfegg und Waldsee in Germany.
They wanted it so much they paid $10 million for it, making Waldseemüller's map by far the most expensive map in history.
In 2007, the map finally earned its wrongful place on display in the United States Library of Congress. How a library was able to raise $10 million, we can only guess.
So how come America got to name itself America? You'd think that writing the Latin word America on Latin America would mean America should describe Latin America. So why is non-Latin USA allowed its A at all?
Part of the reason
That's
is that
true.
they achieved independence before any of the other 34 American countries.
In 1776, the 13 colonies that had been known as British America used their rifles to shotgun the name the United States of America.
Over time, the long name the United States of America got shortened to just America, which is how the English-speaking world almost exclusively refers to the United States today.
And as you might expect, or if you're an American, as you might never have given any thought to, this annoys a lot of people.
Whom does it annoy?
First, Latin
Central Americans, South
In the
Americans.
Spanish-speaking world, the word America on its own always refers to the entire continent, and never the country, which they call
Los Estados Unidos.
They even set up a petition demanding Los Estados stop stealing their name and get a new one right now.
With 308 signatures, it's surely only a matter of time before America concedes.
Second, Canada. Canadians resent the USA arrogantly naming itself after their shared continent, but not as much as they resent being mistaken for Americans by people who can't tell their accents apart and confuse them with people who serve cheese out of a spray can.
Third, British people. Couldn't they just keep calling
Canadians
it British
hate
America?
us.
Had such a nice ring to it, if you're British.
Fourth, Chris Columbus. If the Americans do insist on naming their continent after a European explorer, Columbus, lest we forget, was actually there before Amerigo Vespucci. As it is, Columbus had to settle for the US capital, a province of Canada, another country, countless other towns and cities, and a national holiday. Poor guy.
And lastly, Amerigo Vespucci himself, who died never knowing these new lands were to bear his name in so many confusing and overlapping ways.
So, if the United
Damn.
States of Americans did want to change their name, what on earth could they change it to? Any attempt at a rebrand would come with its own controversy, and of course it's hard to imagine patriotic Americans ever actually voting to be called anything else.
Even though it
Never
appears
gonna
that
happen.
The US Library of Congress spent $10 million on a map that suggests its country gave itself the wrong name,
I won't
looks
let
like
it.
The USA of America will go on calling itself America for many years to come.
Classic America.
Oh, hi.
Yo.
I didn't notice you there. You just caught me buying some electrical tape online. That's right. You can even use the internet to do your shopping these days. And if you're anything like me, you'll hate to pay full price, which is why I love to use discount vouchers.
Discount vouchers?
Discount vouchers to give you money off your shopping.
Money off your shopping?
But who has the time to root around the World Wide Web for these hidden codes in the 21st year of the 21st century? Certainly not me.
Certainly not you.
Shut up. But now you don't have to, thanks to Honey.
Honey, the browser extension.
Yes.
I've actually used that before.
Honey,
The browser extension.
just let me say it. Honey, the browser extension. All you have to do
All
is
you have to do is go to joinhoney.com/mapmen to add Honey to whatever browser you're using in just 2 easy clicks. And the next time you're shopping on any of its more than 30,000 supported sites, simply click Apply Coupons and get money off. It really is that simple, and you can do it right now for absolutely free.
It's simple. If you have a computer, there's no reason it shouldn't have honey on it. And I don't mean runny honey. Computers hate that.
It's like, nah. Alright, whoa.
That'll be my delivery of electrical tape, which I got a massive discount on thanks to Honey. I'd better go and get it.
So, click the link in the description to buy.
Alright, that was actually funny. What happened was a few videos ago, a lot of you told me like, yo, finish the J Pro, what am I saying? Finish the J Foreman videos, because I remember there was a promo at the end of one video and I like skipped it because, you know, I always skip promos because usually they're just promos. They're just people talking about a brand. But J Foreman, like, he incorporates them so well. Like, hold on, I didn't even finish this one. What am I doing?
Honey on your computer and get big discounts on all sorts of products like
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, he's just funny. He incorporates it and like makes it into a whole skit. But what I'm so amazed at is just the sheer amount of information he fits into one video. Like, this should be played in front of a class, honestly. Like, you learn so much more in this than you do in like a lecture. And you can tell just the amount of time he puts into his videos. Like, this scene right here where he goes in public, that I don't think this is a green screen. Like, I saw people looking. You see what I'm saying? People look up right there. Like her and him. Like, that's real. So he actually went out and did that. And like, I don't know, just all the little things. It really shows. And, you know, he just has great editing, lots of info. He actually knows what he's talking about. And he just makes videos on interesting topics. So I will continue reacting to J Foreman until the day I die. I kind of got eased slowly into his videos. The first one I was like, I was like, oh, that's cool. But the more and more I watch him, the more I really just enjoy his videos. Like, he's just an awesome YouTuber. So hopefully you guys feel the same way, because I've reacted to quite a few of his videos and I plan on doing quite a few more. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.